So there was a project that was necessary to get done. What do? You need 15,000 objects to be rendered at the same time. Um, and your physics limit is, I don't know, 1700. That's GoDot's physics limit, 1700. GoDot's actual physics limit is 1700. Unity's physics limit was a lot higher. And with some optimization, you can get it to about 3000. This is 14,592. I'm pretty sure I can bring it higher without dropping the frame rate too bad. I think my frame rate right now is actually not too terrible, to be honest. And this is really cool, honestly, for a deal. It does what it needs to do, and this is a simple code for grass, and a lot of engines don't do this. I mean, you can do this in Unreal, but there's a lot of workarounds you have to do. This is a really simple implementation, simple code, and if my partner lets me post this publicly instead of unlisted, then I will put it public, but for now I'm going to keep it private. And I think it's a good idea to keep it private for now, because this is running super duper fucking fast. But I understand the struggles of the GoDot community, so it's up to him. Oh man, it also saves the data in the Randover flowers. It's pretty brilliant. And so I'm gonna get into the code, and believe it or not, yes, I think I'm already at half a gig on some simple. And look, I made this benchmark as hard as possible for GoDot. And this is these have no collision. These flowers have absolutely zero collision. And so this might be the route to take for something like this for non-collision. So I'm going to get into it, get into the benchmark, and get into the code. It did take a little bit to load, and that might be because of the amount of meshes, but I can't imagine using this many meshes. That's why I stopped at around 14,900 something, and most of these meshes would be textures anyways, or sort of textures. So to get into it, here's the base object here, which is this. I'm not going to update it because that's going to update 14,592 times. But I will look at this mesh here, and we're going to get into the code, basically. Yeah. There is a single script that's running all of this. It's based on the child, like I've always done. I think top-down coding, I like top-down coding, the simplicity of it. Here it is. But bottom-up coding has seemed to have its merits. So this is our little flower, which is based on this mesh here. I don't know the vertex count. I wish I did. But it's definitely more than grass, and it's definitely as populated as grass would be. And there's definitely more vertices than a cube. So, and what's more impressive about this is if I can open up this mesh, I'm using the transparency flag. So obviously I could up the performance. I could I could insanely up the performance, because what's going on right now is I got emission transparency. So what's going on is every one of these flowers can look through one another, and it's looking through thousands of those every time. Um, so yeah, that's insane. Now I'm going to get into the script. Um, Obviously, it's going to be a large load time, edit time, so you probably want to do this kind of population thing last. Or you want to make nodes that do it for you on pre-built landscapes that you have, and then port those over or load those in. That might be the best route to do it. Make them an instance, like in Blender, which is why I like the whole concept of GoDot, because there's an instance concept theme going with it where everything's an instance. Honestly, I'm not going to show the code for now. If my partner says yes, then I will have it in Pastebin along with this video. If my partner says no, then you didn't even see this video to begin with, so don't worry about it. Well, honestly, you can see the video because my script isn't in it. So if my partner says yes, then I'll have a Pastebin attached to it. The script is a lot simpler than you think, but I can't go about since I hide details. Except for it's based on distance, and that's all I can say. I can't go any further, and I'm pretty much taught you enough that if you connect the dots of everything you learn, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then you need to learn more, obviously, before you get into stuff like this.